I think Donald Trump and the White House have really watched what's happening across the rest of the world, really, with ramping up testing. Testing is a key to raising confidence, of course, for people to go out there and help restart the economy. I mean, what we've seen at the moment, Pete, is about 13 US states have tentatively reopened parts of their economy. But today it's been really interesting watching down in Georgia and some other states where they've opened diners and things. People are not actually going inside them. So quite clearly, people need confidence to actually participate, no matter what the government tells you.
What about some stats on the death toll around at the moment? You know, there's almost 1 million cases of COVID-19 in the US, Cam, 56,000 deaths. What's that, as much as the Vietnam War?
In the Vietnam War. On this rate, within 24 hours, America will pass that the death rate. And I don't know if you've ever been to Washington and seen the 58,000 names inscribed on the Vietnam Memorial. It's really quite a sight, and it just brings home the size of the tragedy that's unfolding here in the US, and the fact that at this point in time, very sadly, there is no obvious sign of it tailing off. There's still about 2,000 people dying each day.
Yeah, so how does that argument succeed, Cam, in the US when you've got so many people dying every day still, and you've got so many cases, and there's this talk of opening economy, and that would obviously dovetail into that other argument that, well, numbers are only going to increase if you open things up again.
That's right, Pete. Really, the argument is based on the fact that America is a very diverse country. For example, the amount of cases in New Mexico and the Midwest, the sparsely populated states, is not nearly as high, of course, as the big cities such as New York City, Detroit, New Orleans, etc., Atlanta. And so that's the area of the economy Donald Trump wants to see opened up. Of course, health experts don't want to see anything opened up, really, because they say, look, it will eventually fuel the spread. And so each state's taking it at its own pace. But, they're very different paces, and people are quite nervous, I think, here in America about exactly what might happen if too many businesses do open up. But the economic pain is also very serious for a lot of people here as well, Pete.
Is there, I'm not sure if it's dominating the agenda like it is here at the moment, Cam, but there's the war of words that's taking place between Australia and China. The Australian government has been pushing for an independent review when it comes to the origins of COVID-19. Is there much interest in the US at the moment? Is there friction between, or more friction than usual, between the US and China when it comes to finding out exactly what happened?
Absolutely, Pete. I think the White House is very welcoming of Scott Morrison's move on that front. I mean, there's a lot of criticism here. Ever since Donald Trump was elected, of course, we've had much more tension between the US and China because the president has taken on China on the tariff trade war, of course. But there's a lot of hostility towards China, I think, on both sides of the political fence here in America about its role in the pandemic, its early hiding of the spread and the pace of the spread. And a lot of people in America, especially Republicans, who are very, very upset at China's role. So, look, I think people here really want to have an inquiry into what happened in China. And they also want to have an inquiry about what happened in America as well, and how America was hit so hard.
Yeah, just finally, I've just noticed some news this morning that the New York primary, the presidential primary, has been cancelled in New York, but Bernie Sanders in particular, his supporters aren't real happy about it. Is that the information that you're getting?
Yeah, that's right. The New York primary was cancelled because of COVID-19 threats, and Bernie Sanders people were saying, well, hold it, his name was still going to be on the ballot, so we should still actually hold the primary. But I think the attitude of the Democrat Party in New York is, look, well, that's ridiculous. Sanders said he suspended his campaign. We know the winner. The winner's going to be Joe Biden, so we're not going to hold it. But those things are just unfolding as we speak.